record this. So we are recording, yay! So welcome everybody. Are you guys excited?
Always.
Yes, I am. I need to know how to do this.
Okay, so tonight pretty much we're going to touch base on mostly the in-home party tonight. If you guys do have questions about the Facebook aspect of it, I don't really have a lot of slides for the Facebook one just because I use a lot of the same materials that I do for the in-home parties. And a lot of the Facebook is just setting up the groups and how you interact with the groups. So if you guys do have any questions about that, we can always chit-chat about that at the end. So I'm hoping this will take no less or no more than 45 minutes. But again, I know sometimes we run over and we just get chit-chatting. And we might have some other people hop on as well. So we will get started. So like I said, if you guys want to grab a notebook, if you didn't already, we are going to start our party with a purpose. Yay, Donna. So thank you, ladies, for hopping on and being those timely people as well. We always love that. So here is our introductory slide. Let me get this working. So welcome. So I want you to ask yourself these questions. What is it that you want most from Tupperware? And I want you guys to tell me because you guys are on here. So what do you want most from Tupperware out of your business?
To be honest with you, I just love my Tupperware. I'm sorry. I'm a diehard when it comes to Tupperware. I mean, I've been hanging in for a year and a half. What have I had? Maybe one small party? That's it? Yeah. I'm not willing to give up.
Before that, though, too.
I don't want to give up. I think it's a great product. I love it. And, you know, I just like to meet people and things like that. That's all.
Awesome. Awesome. What about you, Shirley? What do you want most from Tupperware?
What she said. Now, I just like to know how to get the people, when they date the parties, to keep the parties, because that's my problem I'm having. I can get the datings, but for them to actually keep the dating is where I'm running into the problem.
Okay, well, I'm going to make a note of that, and we're going to talk about that, because I don't remember if I put any of that in my slides. I mean, I touched base on it some, but follow.
I have 2 Facebook parties going on right now.
Okay.
And I did the event thing, but I really don't know what to do otherwise.
Okay, now do you set up an event or do you set up a group?
An event.
Okay.
I mean, I didn't know how else to do it.
Okay. Well, I will touch base. I just wrote myself notes so that way we can touch base with it at the end. So that way I can remember that too. Because if you guys are like me, I need a Post-it stuck to my forehead 24/7. I literally have 10 Post-it pads on my desk. So I will touch base with that on the end, Shirley. So just remind me, and I have it sitting right in front of me too. Okay. So if it's something that you want a bigger paycheck in, record breaker, or just any month, more full-time in the business, if this is something you're looking for, is more of a full-time thing. If you want more parties in your date book, like Shirley, you just mentioned, that you're looking for more on how to keep those parties in your date book, better word choices and ideas, or just plain old bigger parties. So what I'm hoping that this is going to help you guys kind of see is to build a vision of how to get the bigger parties, and not only that, but how to keep them going as a steady stream along the way too. So a lot of times it starts with one party. So a lot of times when you have one party, you're going to have that ripple effect. I know I had posted the other day, kind of along the similar lines of a ripple effect post, that when it starts with one, you usually date 2 parties from that. So then if you think about it, you're dating 2 parties from each of those. So by the end of that, I mean, you could end up with 6, 8 parties, 10 parties in the month if you get just 2 datings from each of those parties too. So I want to know, are you guys wanting to have a record-breaking success for October?
Would love
I'd
to.
like to have any success.
Well, hopefully this will help you, Donna. And what about you, Shirley? What's your goal for October?
I would just love to be able to say I've had a big party.
Okay. So you want to go for that $1,000 party, right?
I'm trying real hard.
Okay.
I just keep running into them walls. So.
Well, hopefully this gives you some ideas. So, do you want to party with a purpose all the time after October and keep the party going? So, is this just something that you want to do on the big month, or do you guys want to do this every month? Because what I'm going to show you guys is how to do this every single month, because this is the same exact system that I use. Hi, Kathy, welcome. This is the same exact system that I use at every single party. This is what I use to date my parties. This is what I use to party plan my hostesses. I actually went and did one today in Geneseo, and I sat down and talked to her for almost an hour, and you know, we got everything going, and she is ready and going for that $1,000 party for the first week of October. So I hope you guys enjoy some of this training that I put together for you, and I put some really fun eye-catching slides on because it's supposed to be a party, right? You want to have fun with the PowerPoints too. So I hope by the end of this training you guys will share one of your favorite takeaways or something that was kind of like your aha moment. So if you guys have an aha moment throughout the PowerPoint today, I want you guys to write it down on the paper and tell me at the end. Okay?
Okay.
Okay, so let's get to it. Be a goal getter. You know, you guys know that I'm really punny by now, right? I would hope. So being a goal getter. So in this section, we're going to teach you all about setting goals, not only for you, but your hostesses too. So I want you guys to answer this question, okay? And ask yourself this. Do you 100% in all honesty set a goal for not only you, but your hostesses as well?
I never thought about the hostesses as well. I don't know. I have no imagination at all. I think this is a lot of my problem.
So what do you do, like when you go to talk about, okay, let's start out like this. So we have the end of our month coming in, what, 4 or 5 days now? So what do you have your eyes set on for the month of October? So Donna, what is your ultimate goal right now for the month of October? Where do you want to be on October 26th? Do you want to have completed a party, your first full in-home party? Do you want to make an extra $500?
I want all of it. Whatever I can do, whatever I could possibly do is what I want to do.
Okay, so what I want you guys to do is I want you to pick one specific goal for the month of October. And I want you guys to write it down. And if you want to share it with me, you're more than welcome to share it with me. Just shoot me a message. But I want to know what goal you have set in mind for October by the end of Record Breaker. It can be like Shirley to have that first $1,000 party. You know, it's okay. You can pick a big goal. You can pick a little goal. It doesn't matter the size of it as long as you have a goal set in mind. Now, about your hostesses. So if you said yes to setting a goal for your hostesses, when you're talking to them in party planning, do you talk to them about where they're going to go with their party sales? Or do you just kind of explain to them what they can get? You can go through a bunch of sheets and a bunch of products and everything like that. Or do you actually make a vision of a goal for them? So what are some of the goals that you set for yourself for each party? So at each individual party, what I usually do on my way when I'm getting myself in my party mode, whether I've had a crappy day or whether I've had a good day, usually I just crank up the tunes and I sing away and I get in my party mode. So by the time that I'm there, I have a goal set in mind. And when I'm party planning with my hostess, I have a goal for a $1,000 party at every single party plan that I host or that I plan my hostesses for. So that's generally my goal when I walk into a party or when I sit down with a host one-on-one or do it via Zoom or FaceTime, however technology accessible is for us. I always give myself a personal goal for every single party. I even do it for the month. So like, I'll tell you guys my goal for October. I know we had to make pledges at Rally last week or Record Breaker Workshop last week. And my goal was to have $8,000 in sales for the month of October. Now, my Record Breaker goal would be $9,000, but for me, if I say 8,000, then I'll really do 9,000 because that's just how I always work, apparently. So, like, I set a goal for Record Breaker for $8,000 in sales. So ultimately, that is a great Record Breaker goal for me because there's only one other time I've ever hit that 8,000, which was last year's Record Breaker. So I'm out to do that. So that's my long-term and my short-term goal for every party. So the goals that you give your hostesses. So when you party plan your hostesses, or you date the parties and then you talk to them after the party, do you give them a sales goal? Do you give them a dating goal before you actually get to the party? Do you give them a goal of to sell so many sets before you get to the party, or to have so many people in attendance? Even though they might not use the word goal, as you guys are going to see throughout the process of this PowerPoint, you're going to kind of see how I showcase little challenges, but they're really goals for my hostess too. So you can use them either way. And if your answer was no, you don't really set a goal for yourself, and you don't really set a goal for your hostess, why don't you set goals for yourself? I want you guys to answer that. So why don't you guys set goals for yourselves?
I never thought of it. I'm telling you, I have no imagination at all. I'm like, it's like a newborn baby. You got to teach me to walk, talk, eat with a hold my hand. I am a visual, hands-on person. That's the only way I learn.
So Donna, I have a challenge for you by the start of our October month, and I'm going to pull this out. So I think it was our last rally, Linda had me talk about challenges and stuff. So I want you, Donna, it doesn't have to be this big, but I want you to make a vision board. A vision board. So what this is pretty much, so this was where I wanted to be by the end of next year. So a vision board is just a fancy name for a goal, pretty much. So this is a whole year goal, where I want to maintain, where I want to be next year. So like I have from where I first started out when I said yes. So I have my stack cooker right here. That was my say yes gift. It's my very first paycheck that's in the picture. I'll post a picture of this too. Like I needed a new vehicle, so I have a picture of my old broke down truck that had no brakes. Like all the friendships, I love to make more money. There's the confident start set that I earned. So on here is just goals. Like I wanted to earn a free car. This was my first free car. And then like my computer and my iPad right here, I actually paid for with commission from Tupperware, and I had earned my iPad through Tupperware. So it's fun technology things. It's things I wanted to do. And then by the end of 2019, I wanted to be a 2-star director. I wanted us to be a $500,000 team, which would make us an elite team. And we wanted to get in the Royal Court again. So there's a picture of Roger and I last year, Jubilee in the Royal Court. So this is what, when I talked the other day about doing a vision board class, that's kind of what I was talking about, but I had a fun idea for record breaker. So that's kind of what I want you to work on, Donna. If you feel that you don't really set goals for yourself, it's a really fun one because you can kind of be creative with it. I took a catalog and I cut products out of the catalog, and like I said, I'll share a picture with you guys too about what it looks like up close. And just different goals that I wanted to do. It doesn't have to be that long. I just did the year time span to it just for the purpose of how I was presenting it. But you can do short-term goals with vision boards too. So I had planned to do one for October. And I'm going to take vinyl records. I'm going to go down to the thrift shop and get like 25-cent vinyl records. And I'm actually going to break them and then put them in a picture frame and then put little pieces of my vision board for the month of October on each broken piece, so that way when you put them all together, it makes a perfect record.
Oh, wow, that's a good idea. See, that's a good idea. I would have never thought of that.
Yeah, so it's record breaker. So
right.
Yeah. So Shirley, what is do you set goals for yourself usually?
No.
No? Why don't you set a goal for yourself?
Because when I do, it never works out, and then I get mad at myself, and then I say, okay, I'm not going to do this no more, and then yeah, I beat myself up a lot.
Well, don't beat yourself up anymore. So I want you to make a vision board too. So now that I've explained what it is, because you guys you haven't set goals for yourself. And like I said, it's a really fun and easy one. You can go right online and print things off. Like I have a couple quotes on mine too. So it can be a quote that you guys like. It can be like to read a book. I actually just got this one today. The Girl Just Wash Her Face. So I got that today. So I actually started it, and just small things. It doesn't have to be just Tupperware related. It can be just a goal in general. But I challenge you to do that too, Shirley.
Oh, okay.
It can even be on a poster. It doesn't have to be like mine. It doesn't have to be as elaborate. It could just be like on a poster or a piece of paper. Something that creates a vision for you for October. And what about you, Kathy? You must have your grandkids. I get upset when I don't make my final goal, but I get happy to see the little goals along the way. Yes, Kathy. So I sometimes am in the exact same position that you are in, which is I think sometimes why I don't set my goal as high. Like I've always set my personal goal during the big month to be 10,000, and I've never reached that goal yet. So in my mind, I kind of think the same thing. So I think my goal is a little bit smaller, knowing that I can probably reach them. So I'm kind of along the same lines you are, Kathy. So it's not just you, it happens to everybody. I'm not perfect, don't worry. So have you do you usually set goals for your like long-term goals, or do you do short-term goals, or do you just do like weekly ones? I know she's on the chat, so it might take a minute. So we'll go on to the next one. So what is stopping you from giving them to your hostesses? So why don't you guys challenge your hostesses, both long and short? Okay, Kathy. I mean, you are more than, Kathy, you're more than welcome to do a record breaker vision board if you want to. I am more than happy to. I don't think I have anybody actually coming tomorrow for our vision board class, because we really don't have that many local girls anymore. I think we've only got maybe 4 of them that are local anymore. So if you guys want to do like a virtual one like this and just all get together as a team, and then whoever wants to hop on can hop on, and we just kind of chit chat and make our vision boards together. I mean, if that's something you guys want to do, I'm all for it. Nobody even has to leave home for that.
Right.
So yeah. Okay.
Like
so what is stopping you from giving goals to your hostesses?
Well, isn't just the fact that, you know, everything that Tupperware offers for them for free gifts and what they can earn and things like that is like goals?
Correct. Yep. So, but do you guys talk about them to your hostesses, or do you just kind of put a piece of paper in a folder and then just kind of assume that they look at it, or do you guys actually talk about it?
Well, I would talk about it if I had one.
Okay. What about you, Shirley?
Well, I try to tell them things, but then I get to where I think I'm overwhelming them, or telling them too much, and then they look at me like I'm stupid. And then I have to give them that look back like I'm not stupid, but
yes, you're not stupid.
But
I have word vomit sometimes too. It's totally fine.
I'm not one of those
information.
Right.
I'm not one that can just tell a few things because I think about it and I say, oh, and this, you know, and then I say, oh wait, I forgot to tell you this.
Okay, so do you when you talk to your hostesses, Shirley, do you actually show a visual breakdown of everything, or do you just kind of talk about it?
I'll just pretty much talk about it, unless I have like one of the flyers or whatever in front of me, and then anyway.
Okay. Well,
apparently not doing it right.
Yes. Well, hopefully once we get to the whole hostess packet thing, it might help you a little bit better. I know, Kathy, you and I kind of talked about some of the stuff we're going to talk about on this the other day when we did our organization chit chat. So some of it might be a little refresher for you, but that's probably okay for you too. But I mean, that's one thing that I feel that I do sometimes if I'm really excited too, is I totally get what you're saying, Shirley, is because when I get excited, I just like like a million miles an hour. And next thing I know, and I'm just like, I am probably so overwhelming this person, it's crazy. So I find that if I put things in my hostess packet, I talk a little bit about what's outside of it, but everything that's in my hostess packet, I really try to stick myself to geared what's in there, and it touches bases on every single thing that's important that they need to know about their party. So maybe this might help you too, with all of that word vomit, as I call it. And like, I'm a very visual person, so I like to see everything that I need to know in almost every single place. So you'll see once we get to the packet pages, that I have things like how your hostess status breaks down, recruiting information. It's pretty much like in every other place, so you're seeing it everywhere you go. So it makes it really easy for the host to find it too. So if you do happen to get that word vomit, or if you forget anything, it's all right in her packet too when you go over it.
I just get really excited because I love the product myself. And
yes.
I mean, I get into it and I get so excited because I have this stuff. I said, you really ought to get one of these. I mean, if you can work towards this. And
I was totally like that today, and I'm like, oh, and there's a knife set, and there's this set, and you can get this, and then you get free credit, and blah, blah, blah. Like, that's why we were there an hour, aside from talking about traveling. But I bet a good 40 minutes of it was just talking about the hostess stuff, which usually only takes about 25. But when you get those people you just feel connected to, sometimes it just happens.
Well, I think I'm connected to a lot of people, and then I'm thinking afterwards, I think, well, I probably just should have shut up.
It's totally fine. It's totally fine. So what about you, Kathy? Do you set goals for your hostesses?
Yes, I do. They hardly ever make them, but the ones that do, I'm really excited with them.
Oh, good.
I do different things. Usually the one main thing that I do all the time is tying them to get $175 in orders before the party starts.
Okay, perfect.
I'd say probably half of them will get there.
Okay.
But a lot of times they're just struggling, like the last, like not the last party, but the party before that, all she got was 2 orders. I was so upset. I was like, dang it.
See, yours is such a specific case too, because I mean, you do all Facebook parties. You don't do any in-home parties. So I realize it's totally different for you. Mm-hmm. So I'm hoping that some of this stuff you can use towards your Facebook events too, and everything, and how you coach your hostesses. And I use something similar to the packets that I'm going to show you guys too, and all of the breakdowns. Excuse me. So I do them a little bit different in a shortened version almost. But I hope that might help with your Facebook stuff too, because you can intertwine it all too. Awesome. Well, thank you for sharing, Kathy.
You're welcome.
Okay.
I had to escape to another room so that I can unmute.
That's all right. I figured you had your grandkids.
Yeah. Well, we're all home right now. My granddaughter, my daughter, and we got a new puppy yesterday, so the new puppy too.
Yeah, I love puppies. That's why I have 4. Okay, so building the vision for that $1,000 party really starts early. So I have this nice little breakdown sheet. Now this is all focused on week number 1 for October, because we're really trying to, we're finishing out September, but we really want to go into October really, really strong with those parties, which is why I kind of popped this Zoom in. So that way it can help you guys starting out before Record Breaker starts, so you can prepare for it now, because we still have about a week left, not even a week, like 6 days. 6 days? Today's Monday, right? So Tuesday, Thursday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Yeah, so 6 days. I was right. Yay. So building the vision of that $1,000 party starts with party planning your hostess. So right from the get-go, when I date that party, I automatically, now Shirley, this is going to answer part of your question. So as soon as I date the party, what I do is if I don't party plan them right there at the party, I make sure within 48 to 72 hours, I'm meeting with them in person. Granted, if they live in state and close enough, that if they live about an hour away, I usually meet them halfway. So then I'm driving a half hour, they're driving a half hour. So depending on the distance, but I always party plan in person unless they are out of state or within a non-driving distance. That is really where that relationship is going to start to build right off the bat as soon as you date that party and you sit down and you party plan with them. Now 90% of the time I do party plan them before they even leave the party if they date it, because I usually give them an incentive, and then I just have them hang out until afterwards before I even pack everything up, and then I party plan them in about 10-15 minutes. And then if I date 2, 3, or 4 of them at a party, I can literally give them all party packets and do them all at once. So that's where really building the vision is going to come from. I don't talk about $500 parties. I don't talk about $200 parties. I automatically go for that $1,000 party, and I go, look at everything that you can get on this flyer for a $1,000 party. And did you know that in week number 1, there's no copay out of pocket? Now, usually sometimes when you say copay, it kind of can confuse them. So I've learned to change my wording through the years. So I usually add in the no copay out of pocket that you have to pay for your free credit. Because sometimes it gets confusing for hostesses that have never been through a big month before, and they're like, copay, what do you mean by copay? Like, I don't understand how this is going to work. So just play with the word choices and see which ones kind of work the best for you too. So what I do is I show them this breakdown flyer, or if I don't have this flyer, like sometimes they aren't created early enough for me and then they're after I party plan them, what I do is I will actually have each individual hostess thing. I'll open it up to the page and I'll talk about it, or the ones that I'm the most excited about for them. I'll touch base on some of them too, but I go for that straight $1,000 party. Why do you want to have a $1,000 party in week 1? Why? Because you get $490 in free shopping credit out of the full-line catalog. And then they're like, what? How do I get that? That's so awesome. So, and it's free in week 1, which is even better. So then they can get the free flexible cutting mat, which is a $300 party. So I don't even talk about that being at a $300. So if you're going for that $1,000, how you party plan with them is, you know, with a $1,000 party, you're not only going to get $490 in shopping credit, you're going to get 3 half-off items. Now, my hostess today really wants that Micro Pro grill. So I told her, I go, you can either use your shopping credit on the grill or you can use it as a half-off item because you're double dipping now. Plus, you're going to get a free flexible cutting mat. So I don't even touch base that it takes $300 party. Okay.
It's just a cat.
I just go right ahead and say, you're going to earn this. Now, it's your option if you want to take one of your hostess sets. So the gold serving chic dining collection, the fresh and cool, or the knife set. Me, personally, I am pushing that knife set because with a $1,000 party, you can take that knife set. So that's kind of how I build a vision right off the bat. Before I even talk about anything else, is they're going to want that $1,000 party. Because who doesn't want almost $500 in free stuff? Then you can talk about Christmas shopping. I mean, they can get every single person on their list done for Christmas holidays for absolutely nothing. I mean, they could pay out of half price items, maybe $150 for all of their Christmas stuff. I mean, who doesn't want that? I want that.
I want that.
Yeah, surely I want that too. Yeah.
There's still some things I need.
Exactly. I've kind of started. So then you want to show them each level broken down of what they can earn. So now on page 7 in your full line catalog, and the more that we have this, usually it's on the same page every time that they change the catalogs, but right now it's on page 7. And I love to include, if you guys see my cursor moving over here, this little breakdown on just about every single piece that goes into my hostess packet, because like I said in the beginning, I'm a very visual person. I don't want to have to look for things. If I know where I need to go, I want to know right where it is, and it's going to be in my face that entire time. So this is another kind of building the vision with setting a goal without even really telling her that it's a goal, but it's a challenge. So show them each level broken down. So we're going to go and start at the 275. So about 4 to 5 orders, you're going to get the 275, and that's going to give you 10% in party sales and 1 half off item. So then once you get up into 500 level, but really you want to go for that 600, so just bypass the 500. And I totally talk like this too, because it's double host month. So you want that double host credit, right? She's shaking her head yes. So if you look at them and you're smiling and you're nodding, they're going to smile and nod. So you want that $600 party. So you might as well go right in between here, right? Oh, this one's different. So on the actual sheet, it goes 275 or 500 to 999, I think it does. So this one breaks it down a little bit more. So I'm usually talking about, so you got the 600, so you're going to go for 600 because you want that extra 90. And then, well, if you're going for 600 for double credit, if you really want it, you might as well just go up to 1,000, because then you're getting up to $490 in credit. So you're going to want to get to that 1,000. Now, and I'm going to show you how to get to that $1,000, and then we keep talking about that too. So then focusing on week number 1, we kind of touched base on already. So you guys know why you want to have parties in week number 1, right?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Why do we want to have parties in week number 1?
Because it's double credit.
Yes, free hostess credit. Yes. Okay. So we know there's no copay, so they will want to have a goal set. And this is where I was really talking about the goals in the previous slide, that you will want to give your hostess a goal for that $1,000 party. Now I have 4 5 parties in week number 1 right now. And I have already party planned every single hostess for that week number 1. And one of my hostesses just texted me today saying that she's going for that $1,000. She is adamant about it. So if you set them off straight and say, look at what you can get for $1,000, they have a goal in mind and they want to hit it. They want to go for it. So we kind of already talked about this. So why do I use the words free shopping credit? So I tend to use my own little Leanna-isms. So whatever kind of lingo that you guys use that might work for you, go right ahead and use it. I tend to say free shopping credit because I found that if I say just free credit, they're like, oh, okay, I'll get to get some free stuff. But if I say free shopping credit, I tend to see that they get a little bit more excited because they're shopping for free. I mean, which do you think sounds better in your mind? Do you want to shop for free or do you just want free credit?
No, I like the shopping in there.
Yeah, so that's why I kind of changed my wordings this year. So it also kind of made a little bit more sense to my hostesses when I was talking about it. So I tend to say the free shopping credit. So I urge you guys to try that out and see if that helps with building your excitement too, if they know they're going to shop for free. So then show them what they can get for building the vision. So once you're building that $1,000 party vision, I mean, you can see that's why I love these breakdowns. I know Tupperware doesn't make these ones, but they're on my catalogs and brochures. Just make sure you're using the right ones. So after week 1, don't use this one because this says free on it. But Tupperware does make a similar one. But building the vision, hi Jessica, building the vision of that $1,000 party, she can literally get every single thing on this page for a $1,000 party, plus 3 half-off items. She can get this $175 in party sales. She can get a date and hold gift, plus a lot more too. So, I mean, this is a huge, huge deal breaker. So if you want something that really builds the vision and like it's a good visual, I really would use this sheet. When it's available, I do stick it in my hostess packets. Do you guys have any questions about this so far?
Is this going to be printable? All the stuff that you're talking about?
The breakdown sheet or the slide?
The breakdown sheet.
Yes, so the breakdown sheet is in the My Tupperware and catalog brochures, but I will be posting it too, so I'll make sure that it's up for you guys. Okay, so then some Tupper tips, yay! So this section will walk you through the party basics from start to finish. So we're gonna cover everything from hostess packets. We're gonna talk about what to bring in a party, what to show to a party, different tools that you can use, everything like that. So the first thing is simple starting solutions. In this section, we're gonna cover a lot of how the basic party information you can follow step by step for an in-home show. Now, even for a Facebook show like Kathy, you can use some of these for Facebook because I do intertwine a lot of them, like I had mentioned earlier, into my Facebook shows. And yeah, so these tools can be duplicated for catalog and Facebook parties as well. Usually I don't do as big as a hostess basket challenge, which we're going to talk about too. I do a condensed version of it just because I have to ship all of it and I don't have the same variety that I do as an in-home one, but you can still offer some of the same things and just kind of make your own too. So we're going to go over your hostess information, invitations, what to bring to a party, set selling, dating, word choices, closings, and then after the party. Actually, I think I erased my after the party slides, but that's okay. I know exactly what it was going to say. It's a good thing I had this planned ahead. So the hostess information, now this is something that I do with every single party. Now I just filled this out with my information just for showing purposes. So when you first meet with your hostess, when I give them my hostess packet, I have them fill this sheet out. So why do I have them write this information down? Like I'll show you guys this one right here. So this is for my party. This was for my party last week. So I have a sheet written down for every single party that I have had for the last 3 years. I have one of these sheets for every single hostess. Doesn't matter if it was Facebook, if it was catalog, if it was an in-home, or if it was a fundraiser. I have one of these on file. And now why do I do these? Because they are very, very helpful in keeping me organized. Kathy and I had talked about this the other day on our little one-on-one that we had. So when I do these, I use them as kind of like a follow-up. So I'm not asking my hostess a million times. Do you guys ever find you ask your hostesses a lot, like, what's your phone number that you want attached to your RSVP? What's your email address? What's your mailing address? Do you have a different party address than your mailing address? Do you guys ever find yourself asking those questions a lot? Yes, I see Kathy shaking her head, yes. So what this is going to do is it's going to help keep you organized, and you're not going to have to ask those questions a million times because it has their name, it has the party address, it has the date, the time, if it's the same address as their home address, their phone number, their email, how many invitations you gave them to hand deliver, everything like that, all the way down to what kind of food you're going to make at their Tupperware party. Because if you're like me, sometimes you forget and you and your host discussed of what you're going to make for a party demo. So down at the bottom, like you can see, I have them on this one too. So we were doing red and white sangrias and I needed to send her recipes, and we're doing the peachy salsa. So here's another one I have in front of me. So this one was for 2 weeks ago too. So we're doing the silicone molds because she was interested in the silicone molds. So she wanted to do pumpkin donuts and do a topping in the Power Chef, or she wanted to do taco salad in the Stat Cooker. So with that, it really helps me remember what we talked about when I'm party planning her, because sometimes I just get in my own mind and I'm like, well, wait a minute, what did we talk about? I know she was talking about this, but she was talking about this, but what did we decide on? So it's really there for you to utilize as an organizational tool as well. So this sheet is for you to keep on file for future reference. Staple, what I usually do with this, I don't think I have a copy of it in front of me. So what I usually do with these party information sheets, this one doesn't have it because it's not finished yet. So after her party and everything, once it's all done, said and done, I take her order forms. I staple her order forms right to the side of here. I also take her wish list from her hostess packet that she filled out. I take a copy of it. If she doesn't want to keep it, then she gives it to me. But I always print a copy of it. Her address list. So if she's ever a repeat hostess, I have every single address that she had already given me on file. So she literally, all she has to do is revise the addresses, and if she can add them or take away whatever she wants to do with it, then I can just literally copy and paste it, or I can reprint it, and then I can cut and invites are sent out. You also want to do any return address labels. So what I usually do is I do my hostesses return address labels right here, like this is extras that I need to staple to the sheet. And so that way when she is a repeat hostess, I already have address labels made. So not only is it going to make your life easier in the long run, it's going to make her life easier too when she's a repeat hostess, which is super, super fun. Then at the end of the year, usually what I do, so I write up here 2018. Now, if it was a Facebook party, I write 2018 Facebook. If it's a catalog, I write 2018 catalog. So that way it helps me remember whether it was an in-home or if it was a Facebook or a catalog, whichever you decide. Then usually at the end of the year, I send out a nice Happy New Year's card with a brand new catalog. And I send them, a little calendar, a postcard that I make on Vistaprint with some new specials on it, and then a coupon. So if they're a return hostess in 2019, like this year will be 2019, then they'll get to pick a free gift for my stash, or they can get free shipping on their hostess order, some kind of incentive to get them to rebook into 2019. And I will tell you a lot of them, Kathy, I forgot to tell you this the other day. So I will tell you a lot of them end up rebooking into the following year. So I get a lot of repeat hostesses where these really, really come in handy. And so I put these with every single hostess packet that I have. So this is something that I encourage you guys to kind of do too, to start off, especially being fairly new as well. This is something new and that you can get right out the gate, and being in 2018, so you're not even a full year in yet, except for Donna and I. But so yes. So what do you guys think about this?
I like that.
Okay.
Good idea.
I like my organized chaos. Yes. So this is really, really helpful to me. And then what you can do with these also is I actually have a file folder that each month I have different page protectors. So each month I have each host is to organize. I can't even think of the word I'm trying to think of. Separate it into their designated folders for each month that the hostesses were in. I see you laughing at me, Shirley. It's like the words in my head and it's not coming out. Okay. So then hostess packet basics. So these are these are the photos of what my hostess packets actually do look like. And I kind of cut this one off. So I will be posting the actual photos of this up later. I'll upload them into the event page for you guys. And That way you guys can get an up close and look a personal look. Now, this is everything that I include in my Hostess packets. Okay, so I have my opportunity flyer, which is the Where Will the Party Take You flyer. I just use a generic one. You can use the Say Yes one if you want to. I just personally use the generic one just because I make a lot of Hostess packets up ahead of time. So then I literally just have to grab and stuff new catalogs in them. It's just easier for me, but like I said, you guys can do, if you want to put the Say Yes offer in here, please be more than you're more than welcome to put the Say Yes offer in there. You want to do handout invitations. So however many handout invitations your Hostess has, so which is right here on the left. So this is what our invitations look like, which you'll see later on another slide as well, when I talk about the invitations too. So 2 to 3 full line catalogs, depending on, so like sometimes I have a lot of repeat hostesses. I know that they need more catalogs than just the normal 2 to 3. So I usually do 2 to 3 because the big catalogs cost a lot of money. I mean, you guys will agree with this, and half the time you don't get them back. So I usually include more sales brochures. So that way it's also keeping the host very active and moving those catalogs around. So she's not just like, oh, well, I have a ton of catalogs, I'll just put them out, and she's not going to be working as much to get those catalogs back and talking to her customers and seeing if they want to place orders because she needs the catalog back. So that's why I don't use a lot of catalogs in my Hostess packets, because it circulates them a little bit faster and it keeps her active with getting and collecting orders too. 3 to 5 sales brochures. Now this is for an in-home packet, remember. So for my catalog ones, I usually do 3 to 4 big catalogs, and I'll do about 5 to 6 brochures. So I pretty much just double what I usually do because I'm not physically seeing them. And catalog parties tend to run a little longer too. I usually run them for about 2 weeks. So it's just the basic different of that. Order forms. Always make sure to include your order forms, whether they are the transferable kind or the printed kind, whichever you prefer. A sample order form, which you guys will see right down in here. I always usually include a sample order form on how to fill them out. Your consultant information on every sheet and folder. You guys will see, excuse me, that my business card, that this is the only time I use business cards, and I staple them right to them. And if they choose to keep my business card, on the back of it, they can actually scan this code and it will take them right to my personal VIP Facebook page as well.
How did you do that?
How did I do it?
Yeah.
I did it online somehow.
Wow.
I don't even remember how I did it. I remember doing it when I first started, and so that way you could take your red laser scanner or whatever and just scan it. It's called a QR code, and you can custom make them to whatever they scan. So as soon as anybody scans it, it'll take them right to your VIP page. So if they keep my card, they have that option too, and then it says thank you for your business on the back. So that is the only time I use business cards is for my Hostess folders. Then I always staple one right on the inside as well. It's actually covering this up, but it's usually like right here on the other pocket folder. So I do that too. Then the Hostess Basket Challenge Sheet, which you guys will see on a couple slides down, is pretty much, I'll go more into depth with that when we get to that slide, but I always include a Hostess Basket Challenge Sheet. A wish list, so I always put a wish list in there. The top 10 half off most host items. Now, they don't have to take those items. It's just the most top 10 that most hostesses do choose. And I will tell you guys, if you don't know what sheet I'm talking about, they literally almost hit the head right on the nail with the items that are on this sheet, because I have 98% of my hostesses take one or more of those items on that sheet at every single party. The next one is a blank address label sheet. So you will see, like I messed up on this one, but it looks just like this. It's a blank address label sheet. So if you have somebody like an older generation that doesn't email, but they snail mail, because it still actually does work. I get hosts like this that do this still. They can fill in their addresses right here and they can snail mail it to me, and you literally make a copy of it, cut it, and then you can cut all the addresses right apart, tape them right on the envelopes, and you have your invitation ready to go. Then you also have your basic shipping chart, which is right here. So this explains your basic breakdown of your shipping. So if it's under $45, it's $4.50. If it's over $45, it's a 10% tax, or 10%. Then you have your taxes, goes by the hostess's tax, if you guys did not know that. Like where we are in New York State, we have different counties, so we have different county taxes. I don't know if it's like that in other states. But like if you go one county down from us, it's 8.25%. And then if you jump right over the border into Pennsylvania down in Coudersport, it's 4% tax, which is ridiculous. Then if you go one county over to the north, south, east, I had to do my little cross. If you go one county over to the east, it's 7.5%, and I'm 8%. So definitely knowing if you guys have different counties, if you have different county tax, will definitely be helpful with this too. When you input their orders into the system, it will always tell you as well. So if you don't know what it is, just input your hostess's information, and it'll automatically tell you that too. Do you guys have any questions about any of this?
Nope.
Okay. The next one is your invitation. So I will be doing a video. I don't know if I'm necessarily going to do an interactive Zoom, but I'm going to be doing a video, and I'm going to be posting it up on our team YouTube page. So if you guys have not subscribed to it yet, be sure that you go and subscribe to it, because this video is also going to be on there, as well as this DIY flyers one. I know it's a class that I used to do, but I just didn't have enough people getting on it, and then it just kind of fizzled out. So I'm going to be posting a video on how to make all of these flyers, like this one right over here. So I make them on a free website called Avery.com, and then you can see down below, this is how I use them, and I use a stamp versus a sticker. I do have stickers as well, but the stamp is much more cost efficient. I think I paid $10 for the stamp, and I've only had to re-ink it once in almost 4 years. So it is much more cost efficient than labels and ink. So if you do have access to Vistaprint, I do recommend ordering one. You can custom make them. You can get a large or a small one. I think I've got the large one. But so this is just an example of the hostess or the invitation that gets sent out with every single brochure when I ask them for their address list. So why are invitations such an importance to our Tupperware business? These are key to providing you as an insurance policy that your host will A, hold her original date that's set, make sure reminders are sent to her friends and her family, help you keep the date secured with your hostess, keep her excited for her party, and people who can't attend the party have an easier time placing orders with a brochure, I have a typo, in front of them. Because a lot of times, I don't even have one in front of me, your brochure is going to talk a lot more than a little business card. So let me give you guys an example. Let me find a brochure. I don't even think I have one in here. How awful is that? Okay, so, oh, I have one. I found it. So do you think getting this in the mail would be much better than getting this in the mail? With a piece of paper.
Definitely. Yeah, visual effects.
Yes. Okay, so that's another importance of using these as business cards versus business cards. Because if you're like me, how many business cards do you take throughout the year that don't find their way back into your house, or they get thrown out with receipts, or thrown out in general, or they get ruined in your wallet before you even get home, or they fall out of your pocket, versus a brochure that they literally can take and be like, holy cow, I didn't know Tupperware had mandolins. I didn't know Tupperware had all this fun colors now. I thought they were still that avocado green and ugly brown and yellow. And so it's going to talk a lot more to your hostess's customers than a business card will, with just your name and address and a little invite attached to it. So I really strongly urge you guys to do these invitations. It doesn't have to be as fancy as this. You guys can do just a plain simple one with some lines on it. It's totally fine. I just tend to make mine a little bit fancier because I just like to do that. So like I include both of the hostess sets on here plus the recruiting incentive. Then I do bring a guest who wasn't invited or $50 paid outside order, go into a raffle for a free gift from me, and then come join us for a brand new catalog, new sales and fun, etc. So a lot of times this is another way to get more people that weren't invited to the party and to help your hostesses as well, because they're like, ooh, a free gift, I can go into a drawing. So they're more apt to do this too. So does anybody have any questions on this slide? No? Okay. So then what do you bring to your parties? So remember, you are your shopping brand. You are the business side of Tupperware. So people see you and they see your business. So people are very perceptive when parties are happening. So think of this. Have you ever been to a friend's party and watched them bring all of their products in? How many of you guys have ever been to another direct selling company party? Yes. Have you ever been to a party where you've watched the hostess bring, or not the hostess, the consultant bring in bags upon bags and bags, and it takes her 45 minutes to set up?
I have.
Yeah, or even longer. We're not going to mention clothing company names, but it takes almost 2 hours to set up. Yes. So if you think about that, think about how long it takes them to set up. How many items did they bring? Did they bring 5 items? Did they bring 100 items? Did they bring every item in the catalog? Or did they just bring a select few? Do you guys feel overwhelmed just watching them? I know I did.
Get bored.
Yeah, you just sit there and you're like, holy cow, like, is this all of it? So chances are you felt this way at a party that you've been to or that you've seen happen. So let me ask you guys this question. Would you want to join a business that has you carting around merchandise like that?
Oh.
You'll like my next one. You wouldn't even have to pay for a gym membership at this rate.
Right.
You'd be smoking guns. Yes, you get big muscles. So think about that when you're taking things to your Tupperware parties and when you're carrying things in and out, because people are very perceptive to that. And sometimes you might not necessarily think about it when you're actually doing a party, but if you're sitting at somebody else's party, you realize it. So here are some basic tips to help you. Only bring the bags that you can carry. Limit yourself to a maximum of 4 bags. So at most, with every single party that I have, is a maximum of 4 bags. Okay, now that's everything. Unless I bring in like 2 hostess items or I'm just bringing hostess items, I might have a 5th bag, maybe, on a rare occasion. And if it is a 5th bag, I can still carry it in one trip. So you want 1 bag for your products and your demo products. Don't forget to take a plastic bag from home for your dirty dishes. Lesson learned many times. Bring a plastic bag to just shove all your dirty dishes in if your hostess doesn't wash your dishes for you. So 1 bag of your party folders, catalogs, order forms, etc. So now I have a nice leather briefcase bag that I keep all of my party folders in. So I have 15 to 20 folders made up in there. I have 3 to 5 hostess packets made up in there. I have my own personal catalogs in there. I've got recruiting information. I've got everything right in this bag. Then you have your bag full of your Hostess Basket Challenge gifts and game gifts. Now, if you don't have a basket, it's okay. You can use one of the Batsables. Like, I would encourage you guys to use that. If you guys sampled the orange Batsable that's on sale right now, use that and take it to every single one of your parties filled with all of the gifts for your Hostess Basket Challenge, which we're going to talk about in just a little bit too. We haven't gotten there yet. Or you can use any kind. So if you sampled the Batsable Tower of the pink Prosecco, use one of those pink Prosecco ones. So usually I use the 32 cupper just because it's got the double handles and people love to touch that big bowl. That's honestly what I used until I got one of our thermal baskets. I think it's out in my car. And I filled that with it too. So then recruiting information. You always have a tip. So always keep information on hand for potential team members. There's nothing worse than going to a party and having somebody interested in joining and you not having any information. It happened to me once, so always be prepared. I ended up giving them one of my career guides, so it was a whole book instead of just one sheet. So but I had to do what I had to do. So make sure you always have things in your packets for those too. So use your Just the Fact Sheet. So Just the Fact Sheet, if you guys don't know what this is, it's basically a breakdown in one specific or one 8 by 10 or 10 by 11 sheet that has everything that you need to know about starting a Tupperware business. It has how much your kit costs, explains about the Confident Start program, the CAR program, how much time does it take, how much money is the investment, talks about the bonuses. And yes, I will repost this. It's also on in our files on our team page as well. If you want it a lot faster than probably what I'll post it. I'll have everything posted up by Wednesday. So if you want it faster, it is all underneath our team page on the Tupper Wings under the files. Your Say Yes opportunity flyers. You always want to bring at least between 1 to 3 of these, not only to talk about it and to show at your parties, but to have on hand so if people want to sign right up at the party, you're prepared for it. Not to mention when you talk about it during your recruiting bids. So during your recruiting bids, I always talk about the Say Yes offer. It doesn't matter what the Say Yes offer is. I always, always, always talk about it. Even if I don't have it right there in front of me, I always talk about it. So your generic items to bring. You want to bring a master catalog and brochure to reference throughout the party. So now if you guys are like me, I actually learned this tip at Jubilee. I think I'm the only one that went to Jubilee that's on here. So what they did is they actually gave us the catalog at Jubilee. And throughout all of Jubilee, they did it early this year. So that way, as people were talking about the products and demonstrating, we can go through on the actual catalog pages and write down notes for each item that we talked about. So like for the silicone ones, they're 482 degrees in the oven or in the microwave. And then all the different ideas that you can write down for the different products. Like you can make egg salad in the quick shake, or you can do, I don't even remember what the other one was, but you can go in and you can write little notes in your master catalog. So that way when you're talking about things at a party and you kind of lose your step a little bit, if you're on that page, you have your notes already written in your catalog. Now, if you're like me, I like to tab my catalog, so you can also go to Staples and get a bound catalog, which I'll show you guys. So now I keep one of every catalog that we've had. So if you want something that's a little bit more durable, you can go to Staples and get a bound catalog, how it's got the spiral bound, it's got the hard plastic back, it's got the clear plastic cover on it, and they will go through and actually bind it for you. So, and I think this cost me like $4. So if $4 is worth an investment for you, it does look really, really nice, but then you have something to distinguish what your actual catalog looks like. Obviously, I haven't done it in a while, just because I don't think about it, but you can do that option as well. And then if you do, even if you get a couple of these done at vendor shows, you can leave this on the table and nobody's going to take it because it looks a lot more professional and they're going to know not to take it too. So then your extra order forms, you always want to make sure you have those. Pens, door prize slips. I love door prize slips, which we're going to talk about towards the end because that was the after party part. All the essentials, citrus peelers, because who wouldn't want a citrus peeler as a free gift? Everybody dies for those citrus peelers. It's kind of ridiculous that people freak out so much about citrus peelers. I think it's hilarious every time somebody gets so excited about a citrus peeler and they haven't seen one in years. I think it's the funniest thing ever. But every single party that I do, everybody gets a citrus peeler with every party that I do because it's something cheap that we can purchase, but everybody loves it. Make sure that when you're doing it, I don't even think I have my help here because I haven't unpacked half my office yet. I have citrus peelers that attached with them are little information on how to use them. And then I have my information on the back, so if they ever need another citrus peeler, then they have my contact information too. The tickets and game gifts. So I do tickets for questions at my parties. So for every question that you ask, so at the beginning of the party, this is exactly what I said. Everyone gets 2 tickets when they walk in the door. If they were early, they get double tickets. So every question that they ask, any idea that they give, any product use that they give, or if they just plain old participate, I'm a pretty generous ticket giver. They're pretty much getting tickets for anything they're doing as long as they're participating in the party. Then at the end, I do a couple drawings for the tiny treasures. And then, so the game gifts, you know, you don't have to do anything spectacular. Just use your dating gifts that you're spending $1 a piece for. They don't know it's $1 a piece, guys. So you don't have to be spending a ton of money out of pocket. You don't have to be giving away water bottles and bowls. Just give away your little dating gifts. That's what they're there for. Your reusable tote bags that were out. If any of you guys ordered extra of your reusable tote bags like this fun flower one back here that was from a couple years ago. I have a ton of those that I stock up on. Your door prize slips for special drawings. So your door prize slips, these are what I use. I did post these the other day as well in our files. So this exact door prize slip is on there that I created. They didn't really have one made up, so I made my own because I wanted one that included stuff about Facebook on it too, so that way I could add them on Facebook. So then I do a special drawing just for this, and then at the end of the party, these are photo shows. Let me see if I have one here. At the end of the party, what happens, because I double purpose these as wish lists, I have their entire wish list from the whole party right here on the back of their little door prize slip. So I know every single thing that they want that they did not purchase at the party, and I can follow up with them. Like this lady wanted the Micro Pro grill, the modular mates, spice shakers, an Ultra Pro lasagna pan, and the waffle silicone maker. So I know that she wants these items, so I'm going to call her and be like, hey, you have these on your wish list. You know, they're on sale. Modular mates are ending Friday being on sale. You know, do you want any right now? Obviously, I won't say that exactly, but you guys get the point. So then, what products to choose to bring to your parties? I usually maybe take 10 products. Do you have a question, Shirley?
Yeah, it's fixing to storm here. I might lose you. Just letting you know.
Okay.
I just wanted to let you know that.
Well, if I do, this is it'll be on the YouTube page too, so I'll make sure to share it with you when it's uploaded.
All right, appreciate it.
You're welcome. So the products that you choose to bring, like I said, are really up to you, but don't take more than you can talk about. So when I first started doing this, I'm like, oh, I want to take this because I was so excited about everything. I mean, I still am. But like, I wanted to take my Fridge Smarts. I wanted to take everything in my kit. I wanted to take everything I earned. And it got to the point where I was literally taking like 6 bags of stuff. I was that person that took 45 minutes to set up because I took everything in their brother and I didn't end up talking about half of it. So over the years, I've learned to only take what I'm actually talking about because what happens is you have way too much stuff. People get overwhelmed sometimes, and then you don't talk about half of the things. It's more work that you're having to do that you don't have to be doing. So I usually do a maximum of 10 items. And now that might seem like a lot, but it's really not. So you can bring, if you're brand new and that's all you really have is your kit, take your entire kit with you. You can do an entire party with just the stuff in your kit because it has literally everything that's key right about there. Take a couple samples and you're good to go. What I usually take to my parties, I take my grill or my pressure cooker. I always take one or the other. I bring my Power Chef and my mini chopper. I brought the fall lunch set with the matching black thermos, the new waffle or the new silicone bakeware line, the baking bag. I take the holiday canister set, the 3-piece canister set, and the Halloween stuff, and a couple gadgets. That's literally all I take to my parties, guys. So less is more a lot of times, and people aren't going to care that you don't have a crap ton of stuff all over the table. They want to be able to see the products and to touch the main products. So what I talk about is the things that I personally love, that I use the most, and the things that I feel that people are going to love the most. So that's kind of how I'm picky and choosy about what I bring. Oh, and I bring Fridge Smarts too, because you can't have a party without Fridge Smarts. Yes. So set selling. So this is kind of where we get into the set selling again. To drive your party sales up higher, we're just pairing great products together. So this is a great and easy, simple way that you can make maximum party sales with the least stress possible and the easiest way possible. People don't often think of things on the spot when you're asked, how would you use this at home? Or what would you pair it with for a friend? It's our job as the consultants to do that for them. Prepare ahead how much each set would break down to, and it's just advertise it as holiday shopping made easy, because what is easier than having math done for you? Come on now, guys, you're talking to me. So now I didn't do the math for you guys on this, but this is just an example. So on the catalogs and brochure pages, they have these 2 little sheets right here, the top 2. Already done up for you guys. So if you wanted to make a master sheet of how much all of this would cost together, you can do that too. They did pair items together as well. So that's kind of why I focused on this. So you could do a Party Pro for $114. You could get the Quick Chef and a chip and dip set for $114. Done, bang, out the door. That's $114. If you talked about just the Quick Chef, that's only $69. But if you talk about what an awesome party idea this is, that could almost double your sales. Your shake and marinate containers. So if a lot of people are famous or know our famous marinating containers, but if you talk about it with our Quick Shake, how often do you guys talk about these products together? Or how often you talk about the Breakfast Made Easy with the breakfast maker and the mix-in store? Or you could do the Socialite, the tumblers, the serving center, and the pitchers. So, I mean, just pairing these together is a great and fast way to boost those party sales instantly, because people don't think that they can pair well together in their mind. Or if you tell them this, a lot of times they also don't think that you can purchase them separately. Now, even though I do tell them if you don't want the set, you can purchase them separately. But a lot of times they're like, but I really like that set. If they visually see it and you talk about it, they're more apt to purchase the set. So if you think about it, $45 for the serving set versus $99.50 for the whole set, I'm more apt to purchase the whole set because it matches and it looks super fun. So another thing is this Snowfall canister set. There's a couple different ways that you can purchase the Snowfall canister set, which I always make mention at my parties too. So you can purchase it in the 3-piece set or the 5-piece set. So the 3-piece set costs $29. The 5-piece set is $55. Now, I think it was, well, I did it on my customer page. So I posted a picture of my little fall autumn cookie container the other day. It's the same size as these cookie canisters down here. So I had posted about those. So if you like that container, you can get the updated version. And I talked about this. The most common set selling that's going to be coming out in our record breaker brochures is these girlfriend sets. Take this with every single party. If I even will put this in my hostess packet a lot because it's easy for my hostess to see, is these automatic girlfriend sets that they can break down. It even breaks down the math right for them, $46.50 each for this one 8-piece set, and then so on and so forth. They can get the ultimate baker set right here for the $150. That only breaks down to $75 a piece. This is an amazing set selling tool that I really encourage you guys to use. If you do not use this flyer, I really encourage you guys to use this flyer. Or if the individual photos, you can cut it apart and post them all separate. Just use this flyer. It works amazing. It's awesome. I can't tell you how many girlfriend sets that I sell using these flyers too. Whoever creates these is like a genius. So then the Hostess Basket Challenge, as we were talking about the last couple of slides. So this is my Hostess Basket Challenge that I do for my in-home shows. Now, Kathy, I do a more condensed version of this for Facebook. I kind of just do it off the top of my head. But if you get like so many people going to the event, if you get so many people responding to posts, I kind of just do it more Facebook geared. And now, so this is the easiest way to also have the $1,000 party. So this goes in every single one of my hostess packets. So going down this, as I'm party planning, I will go through every single step on here. So I touched base on some key ones that I really tend to focus on while I'm party planning my hostess. So for each number that your hostess completes, they'll get to pick a gift out of my Tupperware-filled basket. Keep in mind, these are tiny treasures, dating gifts, reusable tote bags, snack cups, etc. Nothing expensive. I mean, every now and then, like on big months, I'll toss in like a mug or something like that I've earned. I mean, it doesn't have to be anything expensive. You don't need to be spending a lot of money. Number 6 and number 7, really enforce these ones with your party for your hostesses, because this will not only ensure you walk into a great party, but for your hostesses too. Now, number 6 is to have 7 or more paid outside orders before the party. And number 7 is to have, oops, it was supposed to be 5 and 6. My bad. Okay, so this is supposed to be number 5 and number 6. Have 10 or more adult guests in attendance and have 7 or more paid outside orders before your party starts. I mean, you can include number 7 in this too, because this one I really do reference to. So having 10 or more adult guests in attendance is really, really, really going to challenge your hostess to get bodies there for you, and you know you're going to walk in there with people going to the actual party, and it's not going to be 2 or 3, but she knows having 10, she's going to get to pick another free gift. So if you think of 10 people, even if they order $20 a piece, that's still $200 in orders. If they order $50 a piece, that's $500 party right there. I mean, sometimes you have that random person that spends $200. You get a $200 order, a $100 order, and a $50 order. That's $350 in orders between 3 people. So if you think about that 10, it's really going to help you add up with the sales. Having 7 or more paid outside orders before the party starts, this is where I really, really drive it home, and I really keep on my hostesses about this almost daily. You know, how are you coming with your outside orders? Have you got your 7 yet? You know, how many more can you get? Even after the party, I really am on them about their outside orders. That will really ensure that you're walking into a party pretty much already having party sales in your pocket and in your commissionable volume. So the average party that I found use this usually it's between $200 and $500 in outside sales before I even walk in the door. Guys, that's a whole party that you're walking into before the party's even started. So this is where that $1,000 party really comes into place. So if you get that 10 or more people in attendance, she's got those 7 paid outside orders. If you're walking in there with $500 in sales walking in there, you're going to get $500 at that party. Guess what? You just had yourself a $1,000 party. Makes sense, right? Why work harder when you could be smarter? Yeah, so having those, now you will have on a rare occasion some hostesses doing this. Like, I think the most hostess she ever did, she had $900 in outside sales before I even got to the party, which was ridiculous. Like, that's never happened again. That's the one and only time that's ever happened. But sometime it might happen to you guys. So, and it will be like, holy cow, did this really happen? So it does surprise you. Okay, so number 7, I'll touch base on this. Have 2 friends or more set a party with me before your party is held. So usually, even if they have one party dated before I even get there, I still give them a gift because I'm a pretty generous gift person. They worked for that dating, and I'm going to reward them. So having them at least set 1 to 2 datings before I even get to the party, guess what? That's 2 datings for their 2 datings already for their hostess sets. So guess what? They might not even be at the party because they're going to have a party of their own. You're going to go to that party and go to get 2 more datings. So guess what? You can end up with 4 datings at the end of the party, which is a lot of times how I end up getting 4 datings from parties because I challenge them to do at least 1 to 2 before I get there. Then I get 2 more at the party. That makes sense? Okay, so number 10 is always a guaranteed gift. It always allows me to take 10 to 15 minutes to talk about the Tupperware opportunity because we wouldn't be doing our job properly if we didn't talk about it because that's how we share the opportunity. And then remember when you're talking and party planning to your hostesses too, it's 90% listening, 10% talking. That's really how you're going to build that relationship with your hostess is if you're listening to her talk about, you know, what she's excited about, the goals that she wants to have. So ask her all of those questions. What products does she want to earn? Where does she want to go with the party? What does she want to make? What does she like? What doesn't she like? So just really kind of remember that too. I mean, sometimes like Shirley and I apparently have word vomit a lot. So just remember in the back of your head, 90% listen, 10% talk. And sometimes I do have to stop myself because I did it today. And I'm like, Leanna, no. Like I stopped talking and I let my host talk. Like I need to listen. So every now and then, just put yourself in check and just think of that 90-10 rule. Just remember the 90-10 rule. Makes me think of the movie Hitch. Have you ever seen the movie Hitch?
I don't think so.
No, none of you guys have ever seen it. Okay, well, he talks about the 90-10 rule, and it's about how Will Smith and Kevin James, and they talk, maybe, is it the 90-10? I think it is that movie. And one of them, he's like, you know, the 90-10 rule, so you come 90% of the way, and she has to come 10% of the way to go in for that kiss. So like the 90-10 rule. Okay. So double dating techniques. So add in those 2 datings before, during, and after the party. So these are some fun dating ideas that I personally use at my parties. I'm actually building one of these matchstick games with our serving centers to use. So that's why I stuck it in here because I'm going to be using it in October. But I always do these bonus dating bags, which are down here in the bottom right and in the background corner. You guys have seen me post pictures about it. I seriously, that is like my hill to die on for dating, guys. In each one of those bags, I put a tumbler. So one of the little pop-top tumblers, like the Halloween ones. It doesn't have to be anything elaborate. I mean, you buy a set of them when they're on sale, use your discount, you're paying like $8 for a whole set, which is normally 25 or 35 bucks. So you're not taking a lot of profit out of this. Or commission, I'm sorry. So have your dates pre-planned in your date books, the days that you want to party, and the dates that work for you. People love a choice, so which is why each of those bags, I have 2 dates for each bag. So I pick out 6 dates and the dates into the next 2 weeks. And now this was for my party, what's today, Monday? So this was from my party Thursday night, yeah. So that picture I took Thursday night at my party. So for each one of those, I had 2 different dates set. So if they picked a bag, they got to pick between the 2 dates. So that's usually how I do it. I do it in a span of 2 weeks because people love choice. So even if I give you those dates, they don't know that, you know, I pre-planned it and looked at my date book ahead of time. You know, they think, oh, well, I'm getting this date. She can party any day she wants. No, I handpicked those dates for the days that I wanted to make money on, the days that work around my husband and I's schedules. So I don't ever party on Sundays because that is the one day I actually get to spend time with my husband. So that's why you don't see me really post a lot on Sundays or do anything on Sundays. That is the one day I actually get to spend with him. So people that have partied with me know that now. But when you pick these dates, you can pick dates and times that work around your schedule, not their schedule, but your schedule, and they don't know that. So when you do that too, when you're setting the dates, when you're going through your date books, look at your date book just like this. So I cross out every single Sunday on my date book. Keep in mind, you don't want to do this for more than 2 weeks out, because what's going to happen is if you date too far out, now there is an exception a lot of times that I will make if somebody really can't do it. Usually I'm pretty flexible and I offer it because I'm not going to say no to a party. So then I just have to make sure that I party plan them really, really strong. So I date into the 2 weeks. So like you can see here, I would go through and I would pick my dates, and I would usually take a green highlighter, or I circle mine in my date book, or put a little sticker, anything like that. Now this is very similar to how my date book actually looks right now for parties filled for the first 2 weeks of October. I have a party this day, this day, this day. I've got a party this day, Facebook party, and then I have a vendor show, and I have Sundays off. So this is very similar to how my date book looks right now with parties, which is why I did this like that. So dating within the next 2 weeks keeps your hostesses really excited because it's super, super close to their party and their friends are dating. So a lot of times the sales will overlap also. They'll get new sales, they'll get new sneak peeks. You can do different games, you can do different incentives, things like that too. Keeping the time schedule that works best for you and your family, which we just kind of talked about too. Like I said, I don't do anything on Sundays. So eventually people will start to see the pattern with that when they party with me, that I don't do anything on Sundays unless that literally is the only day that they can do and they don't want to do a Facebook party. Then I'll make an exception. I'm not going to say no. I mean, who's going to say no to making money? Are you guys going to say no? No. My husband will understand. So then with the closing, it's always important to have a strong close after the party with the hostess. So if you want to use this little cheat sheet, I did use this when I had first started because it was a great reminder, especially being brand new, of everything that, hi Diana, of everything that we had to go through. So that way I knew I wasn't missing anything come time to close the party, what I was going to tell my hostess, what she qualified for. So this is a really, really great tool, even if you use this for Facebook, catalog, anything. Even sometimes I'll also recommend this to people. I mean, it's a great tool to use. So before you leave, that's supposed to say party, not party. Before you leave the party, make sure that your host knows where her party sales are at so she can start checking off and sorting her wish list items. Yay! Because there's nothing worse than leaving a party or having a party and the consultant leaving and you have no idea where your party was. It's happened to me before, having parties of my own, and I'm like, she left, my consultant left the party and I had no idea where my hostess rewards would fall at. I mean, I knew I had people, but I didn't know if it was $100, if it was $500. I mean, there's nothing worse than leaving your host hanging by a thread of what did I earn for free? I really just want to start shopping. So keep her excited by following up every day until you close. Now, I don't think, so none of you guys on here have ever been hostesses of mine, but I will tell you that every single host that I have, after the days after their party, I am like a tick on a dog with them. I am messaging them, you know, have you gotten your outside orders yet? Do you need an online link set up? You know, who have you talked to? You're only this much far away. I'm constantly keeping them on pace. Now, I had my host Thursday night tell me that she wasn't going to get any other orders, that she was done. She'd already given me her product list, everything she wanted picked out. Do you want to know what she texted me today? She had 3 more people order because I gave her a goal that she needed to get over her $500 to get what she wanted the rest of her wish list. So she said, okay, it's not going to happen, but I'll ask people. She came back, she's got 3 people already ordered, and she has 2 more people waiting to order. So giving them goals, guys, give them goals. It does happen. So that's why I really encourage you guys to stay on them even after the party closes. So remember at the beginning about the goals? That's where I really try to enforce those goals. I set them a goal. So say her party is at $450, which was almost exactly where she was. We did a hostess battle party Thursday night between the 2 hostesses. So I gave both of them a goal to reach, so that way it maximized, so they'll have a $1,000 party by the time it's done. So I gave them both a goal that they needed $50 or $42, I don't remember what it was, that by the time that they close. So you say 4 days from now, what goal are you going to give her to reach it? So she only needs $50. That's either 2 small $25 orders or 1 chip and dip set, or that's 1 Power Chef, or that's a couple sets of the Halloween tumblers, or 1 complete set of the Halloween set. So really kind of break it down for them and how easy that $50 is, because sometimes if you tell your hostess that $50, they're like, $50, that's so much money. Like, nobody's going to order $50 worth. It's a lot easier if you break it down for them and show them how they can do it. So keep in mind, they're having the double hostess credits in October at the $600 and the $1,000 levels. Remember how we talked about building the vision? This is really closing, is how you're going to keep that vision alive through the start of the party all the way until the end of the party. You're going to be talking about building that vision of that $1,000 party. If you walk away from that party at $650, $700, she's already at that first double hostess level. Or if she's at $500, push her up to that $100, that next $100, so she can get that first level of double credits. If she's at $700, $800, make sure that you work with her to get her to that $1,000. Show her the difference of what she can get versus what she is getting. So a lot of times, do that extra step of the visual work. I promise you, it will work out almost every single time that you do this. Take that time to really show them the keys of the party steps. So then with the closing your party the smart way, this, like I said, breaks down everything from the party sales. You can also put this in, I actually think I have a little 5x7 little note card of this that says, thank you for partying. You know, you helped your hostess earn this much. You would have made this much in commission if you had been the consultant, things like that. So I think I have one of those somewhere. I can't remember if it's Tupperware or not, but I'll have to look for it if you guys want to see it. But so this goes through, it's kind of like a little personal checklist. Your party sales are at, so then it's going to show them how much in free, how much half price, if they got datings. And I do have a PDF of this, so you can actually enter in all of your information right in here, and you can send this to your hostess, everything like that too. Do you guys have any questions on that? Okay. So then your takeaway. Yay! So what is your guys' takeaway from tonight's training? I know we went a little bit over. I said 45 minutes, so I'm about 50 minutes, 55 minutes, about an hour and a half, somewhere around there. I don't know. So what is something that you guys learned tonight that you feel will be super helpful for you?
To set the goal. Set goals.
Yes, set goals. Yes, Shirley. Yay! I'm a big goal setter. I like goals. Awesome.
Have your hostess set goals.
Yes, have your hostesses set goals. Yes, it's very important. I know, and it's so funny that, you know, sometimes we might not think about it, but it's like I didn't really think about it until I started sitting down and doing this. Like, it's just kind of habit. It's habitual for me now to do it, but like teaching you guys to do it, I think, is something so different, because it's not something everybody really thinks about, which obviously you guys didn't think about. And see, if I hadn't have done that, I wouldn't have known you guys didn't know how to do that. What about you, Donna?
I was kind of amazed at how you kind of like went from, and you didn't actually say like a $300 party, but what I got out of it was like, why not do $1,000 party? Why would you settle for 300?
Yep.
Go to the top.
That's kind of the mindset I have to be in, because it's the same with like my hostess packets. I've noticed this. So if I only make up 2 hostess packets to take with me, I usually only end up dating 1 party. If I take 5 hostess packets with me, I end up dating 2 to 3 parties. So like a lot of times it's all in your mindset sometimes. Like set your mind to 1,000 and you're going to get a lot closer than you think.
Well, it never even occurred to me to just go for the gusto. I'm like, you know, whatever the hostess can do, that's all she could do. That's what I was ready to settle for.
Yeah,
but
go for the goal, Donna.
The way you put it is like, yeah, why not?
Yeah, and when I say 1,000 to some hostesses, they kind of look at me like, are you crazy? Like, I'm never going to reach that. And then if you break it down for them, like, even though I say 1,000, and this is exactly what I tell them, I go, $1,000 might seem like a lot, but if you really think about it, it's really not. Like, I'm breaking down the steps for you right here. If you get your 7 outside orders and you have 10 people at your party, I can almost guarantee it that you are going to have that $1,000 party. If not, get pretty darn close, and you're going to get there after the party. So just doing those simple steps and just encouraging them sometimes makes the biggest difference. because they might not believe in themselves to get that $1,000 party. But I believe that they can do it because I know how easy it is. I've seen people do it when they didn't think that they could do it. So I know it's possible. You just have to make them believe it's possible.
Especially me with the Facebook parties. It seems like the hosts just want me to do all the work and they don't do anything. Mm-hmm. So I have been sending them, there's a couple things online showing how to have how to have great Facebook parties. Okay. So I'll send that to them before the party and tell them about getting the outside orders, at least 175. This last person, I told her, well, if you can get me at least 5 orders, then we'll see where that goes. I'll give you at least 2 gifts for trying to get some orders for me. Mm-hmm. And she liked the little mini set that was on sale.
Oh yes.
I told her if you can get 10 of your friends to buy one of those sets, I'll give you yours for free. So she got 6 friends. She didn't get the 4, but her friends ordered other things on that sale flyer.
Okay.
So she ended up having enough for a party and got a hostess gift.
Oh, that's awesome.
I sent her the little one that's in the catalog right now, the mini party.
Oh, the little sparkly ones?
Yeah. So yep. I sent that to her as a gift from me.
Awesome. So another thing while we're talking about the Facebook one, so what I tend to do with Facebook too, Kathy, is if I know something that my hostess is working towards, I really try to enforce that in almost like every other post. So I'll post at least once a day of what my host is working towards. So like my one host wants the 4-in-1 smart multi-cooker. Which is kind of funny because I honestly haven't sold any of those multi-cookers since they've came out because I think it's just such a different product. Maybe it's just because I don't talk about it a lot, but so she wants the 4-in-1. So usually what I'll do is I'll post about what my hostess wants out of her free credit and what she's working towards, which is another goal. So she's got her hostess goal of what she wants and then how we're going to help achieve her to get there. So you can do something like the first person to place an order will get a guaranteed gift from me. If you are the 10th person to place an order to make my hostess's first notch towards her goal, so she needs how much in hostess credit to earn it for free or half price. So if we reach a certain level, then I'll draw everybody who placed an order into a free gift giveaway for that. So, I mean, you could do something just as simple as that.
Yeah.
I feel like if the Facebook people know, Facebook's so much harder sometimes too, because you don't have that person-to-person interaction. Like you can't like just sit down next to somebody and have a conversation with them. I mean, it's all typing or live videos. Like you're not actually one-on-one with them. Mm-hmm. So I feel like sharing my hostess's goals more on the page almost kind of like involves her customers a little bit more. So try doing that a little bit too and see what she wants out of like what is her main goal to get like the product out of, like if it's the grill. Like generally I usually offer them as a half price item just because then they can maximize their free product. But if she wants the grill, you know, post up a bunch of stuff about the grill and say, you know, my hostess is really working towards this and tag her in it. So tag her in every post that you talk about what she wants because then it's going to keep her motivated to get that too. So it's going to be kind of working double time on it. So it's going to help you too.
Yeah, that was another takeaway. You had mentioned that about the hostess goal. So I was like, okay, I need to ask them what is it that they want. I did that before, but just with like, I knew it was a home, like we were doing housewarming because they just moved into a housewarming, a new house. And so I asked them, okay, we can do a housewarming. Just pick out like 5 things that you want and we'll tell your friends, this is what you're going for. I didn't think of that for normal parties.
Yes, you could do it with, and even with like a fundraiser. I mean, it would work great with fundraisers. Like it's kind of like a GoFundMe for Tupperware. Like pick a certain goal. This is what you're working towards for the benefit, and then just shoot for the stars. Yeah. So yes, definitely goals. So I also had just a touch base on this quiz. So the events versus groups for Facebook. So I don't know how many of you guys do, how many Facebook parties do you guys usually do all at once? Do you guys usually just do one or do you have a couple?
A few times I've had like 2 or 3 at a time.
Okay. So now do you guys all set up events?
I do groups.
Do groups? Okay. Perfect. So I use an app. You can do it on your computer or on your phone or tablet. It is good on all multimedia devices, I guess you would call it. It's called Cinch Share. So it's CHINCH and the word share. Now, if you're doing more than one Facebook party at once, you can't do this as an event. It's only Facebook groups or pages. So I do recommend setting up in a group, and the way that Facebook is really redesigning the groups, it's a lot more beneficial versus events. So when you do the Cinch Share, what it is, it's a post scheduler. So when you're doing, like, I've got 1, 2, 3 Facebook parties in the first week of October outside of my 4 in-home parties. So what I usually do with that is you can go in and you can actually click each individual Facebook party and do one post, and it will post to every single Facebook group for you. So you can go, like, I'll spend maybe an hour in the morning and I'll do the entire day of postings, and then I'll go through and I'll tag my host in whichever post that I want to. But then if you, like, that's how I really maximize my Facebook party timings, because I honestly don't want to sit at a computer for a whole day just posting things. I mean, I don't have time for that. I know you guys probably don't have time for that. So even with just one Facebook party, you can use this app. I mean, so you get the first 30 days, I think, is free. And then after that, it's like $10 a month. But if you do a lot of Facebook parties, like especially you, Kathy, I mean, it would totally pay for itself just with one Facebook party. Yeah. So that's why I use it, especially like if I'm traveling, like in different time zones too. Like, so in Hawaii, I was 6 hours behind you guys, or when I'm in Alaska visiting my sister, she's 4 hours behind. So, I mean, that's where it really comes in handy too. Or when you're in California, Kathy, when you're traveling and you're 3 hours behind, you can still be doing Facebook parties. You could be sitting in the airport posting on your Cinch Share. So while you're in the airplane, it's going to be posting for you. So it's really beneficial. I find it's a lot easier and it takes a lot less stress off of me. You can also save posts, so that way you don't have to retype everything every single time. So if you talk a lot about the same things, like all of our warranty information or our product information, you don't have to retype everything and research for graphics. You can store it all right in there, and then you can literally just copy and paste it. So it's really a maximizing your minimums pretty much. So it's a really fun and easy app, and they have a lot of tutorials on how to get started and how to go through it. They have a whole section right in there that has videos, and you can literally teach yourself how to do it. That's how I did it. I went in and I just watched all the videos and how to navigate the website and everything like that.
How about a link for the Facebook parties? How do you set that up? Do we have information that tells us how to do that?
For the Tupper Connects?
For the link for Facebook parties.
So for like if you're doing an in-home party, to pair a link with it, or just a straight online party?
Straight online.
So I personally don't recommend doing straight online, because the hostess doesn't get anything except for when they reach $200, they get a 10% gift card. So I personally don't recommend just the straight online parties, because the hostess doesn't get anything. I mean, she doesn't get any of the half off items. She doesn't get any free credit. She doesn't get any of the exclusives. So I personally don't promote that at all. What I usually do is I do the Tupper Connect link. So I make sure that she has that $175 in physical orders. And then after she has that, then I set up the shopping link, and that's how I usually do it. Because then she can still take all of the exclusives and everything.
How do you set up the shopping link?
Huh?
How would you set that up, that shopping link?
So when you go to put in a party, what you want to do is click start a new party. And then when you put their address right in, down towards the bottom, there's a box that says combine this with an online order or an online link. You just click that box, and then you set it up, and then you can go in and click manage, and then it'll bring up a new browser, and it'll give you your shopping links right there.
Nice.
Yes.
Okay.
It's pretty easy. If you need help doing it, just let me know.
Okay.
So Shirley, oh, you already shared. So Diana, I know you kind of hopped on late. I'm not sure if you can use your audio or not, but if you have a takeaway from the little snippet that you saw, I'd love to hear too. Or if you can chat, you can use the chat too. I think everybody else shared. I'm not sure if she knows how to use her microphone yet. Okay. Oh, I got a chat. Okay, so Diana, I know you hopped on late. I got your chat. So this will be uploaded on our team YouTube page, so you can go back and rewatch everything that's on here too. You can comment right on the YouTube page too if you have questions on it. It will show right up on there too. Or you can always message me as well with any questions or comments or concerns that you have as well. So, okay. You're welcome. So thank you, ladies, for hopping on. I hope you guys had lots of fun. I hope you guys took away a lot of ideas and you're ready to rock this record breaker and really prepare yourselves for those parties. If you want me to do like a training for like the CintShare or the Facebook thing similar to this, if you want me to go through anything Facebook oriented, if that's something that you ladies would be interested in doing, just let me know. Yes. I can always do something like that for like a mock Facebook party or to kind of just describe what I post about, things like that.
That would be great.
Yes.
Okay. Perfect.
I like to see how other people do it.
Okay, I will work on that. So probably next week, I won't be able to fit it in this week. So probably next week I will do one then with Facebook, and we can go over, you know, your party basics, what you should post, your openings, things like that. So I'll do a Facebook one kind of similar to this too. Okay.
One other thing I wanted to mention with,
yes, my dear,
with using the groups, I like to use the groups because after we've done the party, if I get that host to become one of my team members, then I tell her this now is your group page and you can do what you want with it. And it already has a bunch of her people in there.
Well, that's a great idea, Kathy.
Yeah.
That's a great idea. I know with the group pages, you can actually link your VIP group page to it too. So that's why I started using them, because then they can just literally click on the linked page and it's saved there. And I don't have to like search around for mine. That's a great idea. I'm putting that in my training. I have my notepad. VIP page. Okay. I really like that idea. Thanks, Kathy. See you better together. Yes. Okay. Well, if you guys end up rewatching this and you do have any other questions, just let me know. Shoot me a text message, or you can comment right on the YouTube channel. If you have not subscribed yet, I think all of you guys told me that you did.
I think they did.
Last time. I will share the YouTube channel again, and this video will be uploaded by Wednesday, so this will probably be uploaded onto my Zoom later tonight. It usually takes a few hours to download once it's done recording, and then I will upload it tomorrow to Zoom, or to YouTube, so it will be available. So make sure that your notifications are on the YouTube page too, and then whenever I upload new videos, it will notify you too.
Okay.
Okay.
Diana.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Thank you so much, ladies, for hopping on and for joining me tonight on this nice evening. So I will talk to you guys later. I'll be working on that Facebook training for you guys too, and I'll let you know when I do it, okay?
All right. Thank you.
Okay, you're welcome. Have a great night.
All right.